Because they know it's Halloween and they want to find out whether or not there are some ghosties haunting every part of their life. But Sylvia, I'm going to tell you something. We got a major coup right here. This is one of those things that you call a get in television. Because we have a woman here. How many of you in this audience know who Lizzie Borden is? Raise your hand. Remember Lizzie Borden?
Oh, yeah.
Lizzie Borden had an axe, gave her daddy 40 wax, gave her mama 41 more, right? Well, guess what? Everybody kind of forgot about her.
We have Lizzie Borden in the audience.
No.
Yeah.
Do we? No. But has everybody ever wondered whatever happened to Lizzie Borden? Well, my next guest does. Take a look at this.
My name is Lee-Ann Wilbur, and I am the manager here at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. The house became famous on August 4th, 1892, when the bodies of Abby Durfee Gray Borden and her husband, Andrew Jackson Borden, were found brutally murdered. Mr. Borden's body was discovered first on the sitting room sofa. Abby's body was found second in the guest bedroom on the second floor. The suspected murder weapon was a hatchet. And the suspected murderer was Andrew's youngest daughter, Lizzie. And she was brought to trial for the crime. Now, Lizzie was acquitted on all charges after a 13-day trial. We will unfortunately never know who murdered Mr. and Mrs. Borden.
Ah, so did she do it?
Yeah.
Really? All right, let's find out. Take a look.
She was bipolar. She was crazy.
Well, what would it be like to sleep in her bed? Take a look at this.
I was told that the house had a reputation for being haunted. I have had experiences I definitely cannot rationally explain. I would hear people walking around up there when I know I was alone. I was heading up to bed one night, and I had the distinct feeling I was not welcome that night, and I chose to ignore it. So I went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, the rocking chair had shifted, and it was facing me like someone was watching me sleep all night. Another night, there was a heaviness to the atmosphere, and I was staring out into the hallway, and it took me a moment to realize that the shadow that I had been looking at the staircase just walked up the stairs. I have been told there are other spirits in the house aside from the Bordens. We apparently have the spirits of two children on the third floor. The mother, as the story goes, killed her children in a well. We have had happenings on the third floor, activity on the third floor, and it's childlike activity. As brutal as the crime was, I don't know if the spirits that are lingering here, all of them, are directly related.
Please welcome Lee-Ann to the show. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do something. Lee-Ann, let's do this. We'll take a break. When we come back, you gotta tell me a little bit about this, because, girlfriend, first off, if you're hearing noises and you're seeing ghosties, why are you there? But tell me that when we come back. We'll be back right after this.
I'm the manager here at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. The house became famous on August 4th, 1892, when the bodies of Abby Durfee Gray Borden and her husband were found brutally murdered. And the suspected murderer was Andrew's youngest daughter, Lizzie. I was told that the house had a reputation for being haunted.
Well, again, welcome Lee-Ann to the show. Welcome her. Lee-Ann, wait, talk to me first and explain to me, you know, there's property up for sale. I'm looking in the newspapers and the real estate, man. Property for sale. Hey, I got this house on 46th Street, got a house over here on 16th Street. Oh, I can buy Lizzie Borden's house, where they murdered people. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, truth is, it became a bed and breakfast 10 years ago. The former owners converted the house. It was private property. And I found out that it was a bed and breakfast, so I decided to bring my boyfriend there for Valentine's Day.
And when you got there,
Did you like him?
I still do.
But since the day you moved in, Lee-Ann, come on, it's been a freak show. You got weird stuff happening all the time, do you not?
Well, it happens when it wants to happen.
But wait, if it happened one time for me, it would be enough. But okay, so it's happened, like what kind of strange things have happened in the house?
When I first, I sleep in the house alone quite a bit.
And
Well, I
footsteps
have to get
up
used
and
to the
down the
place.
steps.
Jeez, well, what did you want to ask Sylvia?
Well, I know that Mr. and Mrs. Borden are there.
Yes.
I've had plenty of experiences with the two
there,
of them.
and so is she.
I think she passes through. But there are other spirits in the house, and I would like to try to identify them.
And I agree with you with the children, too, because there's 3 children that are upstairs. There's a boy and 2 girls. But Lizzie comes through, but the mother and dad, especially the mother, comes through a lot.
I've had several contacts with her.
Yeah.
Like
she
what?
comes through.
When you've had several tell me a contact. What? What happens?
I had one specific experience with her last year in April. I was making the bed in the murder room, the room she was found murdered in. The guests had left late. It's the most popular room in the house, believe it or not. I was hurrying up to finish the bed, and I was tucking in the sheets, and I thought it was a little anxiety at first. I was getting hard to breathe, with a little tightness in my chest.
Yeah.
And I pushed myself up off the corner of the bed to get my breath, and when I did, I felt like somebody hit me in the middle of the chest.
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, I was on the floor sobbing. And my first immediate thought was just grief. Overwhelming,
yeah.
overwhelming grief.
I would try to explain to her that her daughter was crazy, that she didn't mean to do it. I would try to explain
Is
to
that
her.
what's keeping her here? Mm-hmm. And Lizzie lived in this house after the murder, correct? Or no? After the trial, all that stuff, did she move back into the house?
For 3 weeks, and then she and her sister bought a mansion about a mile away on the hill.
The little girl's name,
Yes.
one of the primary little girl's name is Irene.
Irene.
Okay? The little boy's name is Henry. If you get a hold of those 2 little boy and little girl, then the other little girl, Sally, will go away too.
I knew one was Sally. I thought the boy's name was James, but I knew
No,
one was
Henry,
Sally.
yeah, Sally.
Just get a hold of one and tell them to go?
Yeah, and then they'll bring the rest of them with them.